Okay, so in this particular set of data, we want to create an environment where we have our data here, okay? We have a criteria area that we would specify what we want to see. In other words, do we want to see Lou Jack or Harry or Rose? Put their name in here, just like we did with the advanced filter, all right? Put that in there, and by putting it in there, it won't change the list at all, but what will happen is it will just total up those sales that were made by Rose or made by Peacock or whoever you specified in here, okay? So we want to be able to, specify criteria here, and then whatever it's homing in on, we want to total that, we want to count how many there are, we want to know the average of the numbers that are part of that criteria, that filter, and then also what is the highest number in that range, what's the lowest number in that range. Now, the formulas that we're going to use are in a family called the database functions. They start out with the letter D. So we have certain ones out there. We have ones called like DSUM. We have one called DCOUNT, DAVERAGE, DMAX, DMIN. Okay, and they each are counterparts, obviously, to the sum, to the count, to the average, the max, and the min. And we're going to be putting them in here. So once they're in there and we specify the criteria, then whatever this criteria produces, nothing's going to change down here. All that's going to happen is these numbers are going to be added up or averaged or counted, or the higher or low number is going to be, given us as a result here. All right. Okay, so let's start out with the first one here. Let's go with equal. Then I'm at the letter D, S, and there is DSUM. So I'll just do a double click on that. There it goes. Now the first thing it needs to know is where's your database, and this includes the field names as well. So the database is going to be basically from here all the way down to a little over 75,000 rows. It's quite long. So what we'll do here then is we'll select that range, Control, Shift, right arrow key, and then down arrow key, just like that. And then we'll hit the comma, all right? Now, let me just scroll back up to the top here so you can see this. So we do that. Now, the next thing it needs to know is what is the field that's going to be added up. So in this case, we've got 5 fields here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be the 5th field. So we type in the number 5, there we go, and then a comma, and then it wants to know where is the criteria, where we're going to be typing in what we're looking for. Well, the criteria, just like when we did the advanced filter, the criteria will be from here, including the field names, from there down to there. That's it. And then once we've done that, we go ahead and hit the enter key. There we go. Now it gives us almost $1.5 billion. That's what all of these numbers add up to. We have no criteria in there, so we're not going to be able to see any changes yet to that. Now, to make these ranges a little bit easier to specify, I mean, the range that we did for the first one is from A11 down to E75,011, and it wasn't too bad selecting that whole range, but what we can do instead is give that range a name, okay, almost like a nickname, and instead specify that name rather than this range, having to, select that range over and over again. All right. So how can we do that? Let's do that right now. So we're going to go and we're going to click onto A11 here, Control Shift, right arrow key, down arrow key, and then over here in the name box, as we call it, we're just going to call this one data. Enter that in. That's it. We can also, in here, instead of having to specify that range, we can actually select this range here. So that'll be something else we'll have to do. And we can just go up in the range box, or name box here, and we'll call this one range, for lack of a better word. All right, enter that in. So what happens is, we have data, which is that, and we have range, which is that. So that's going to be making it a lot easier when we're doing the formula. So instead of having to do that, we're just going to type in data, and instead of having to do that, we can just type in the word range. Okay? So for the second one here, we'll type in equal. Now this is going to be for counting, so we're going to do the DC, and you'll see DCOUNT. All right? And we're doing the DCOUNT rather than the DCOUNT A, because the DCOUNT counts numbers, whereas the DCOUNT A counts text. All right, and since we're just going to keep it all in column E, just to keep it, you know, universal and consistent, we'll do it that way. So for the database range, we're just going to type in the word data, comma, all right? It's going to be the fifth column. It's always going to be the fifth column on every one of them. So 5 there, comma, and then we're going to type in range. You'll notice how it gives you like a little grid there. It looks like a highlighted area, and it's got like a name. That's what it's trying to tell you there. Now we do all that, hit the enter key, 75,000 records. That looks pretty accurate there. For the average, that's going to be equal DA. There's your there's your D average right here. So we'll double click that, and this is going to be data, comma 5, comma range. How about that? I mean, that's pretty fast. All right. Now for the high one, this is going to be the equal DM for DMAX. We'll double click that, and then and then we're going to type in data, comma 5, comma range, just like that. Enter it in. Voila. Pretty good, huh? So that's the highest number, the highest sale that we've got. Now for the lowest sale, that's going to be equal keep on doing that, DM for min. So D min, double click that. We're going to type in data, comma 5, comma range, right? Enter that in, there we go. Now we're set up. Now we can go and put our criteria in there. So we can say, well, let me see all the companies that start with the letter S. So I can go over here to the to parent company, hit the letter S, hit the enter key, and I don't know what they are. It won't show me what they are, but all I know is that for companies that start with the letter S, there are 11,217 transactions. So that's not a real friendly or telling thing in there, but we'll go a little bit more visual here. So let's say with the LuJack, we want LuJack sales, right? There's LuJack, and we want to see LuJack sales that are over 20,000. There we go on that one. And where LuJack sells to, let's say, Oceanic Foods. And I can just type in Ocean. I don't need to type the whole thing. There's no other ocean companies out there than Oceanic. So hit the enter key on that one. And it looks like, what happened on that one? We got a division by 0. That's kind of weird. Let me go back and click on Ocean again, and I'll type the whole thing in here. But that Oceanic. Still gives us that. Now that I look at it, that is correct. What's happening, what I was looking at was I was looking at LuJack here, and I wasn't thinking that LuJack on that one is not Oceanic. So really what it's basically telling me on this is that there are no LuJack over $20,000 sales to Oceanic. Now, what I could do is maybe go over to the 20,000, delete that, and see if that makes a difference. No. And maybe what it comes down to being is that I have no LuJack Oceanic. That might be just what it is. So I just happen to pick the wrong one. Let's do this. I'm going to go and put Magnus instead. And that clearly gives me something. So then I could go back and say, okay, now give me everything that's over, let's say 20,000, right? And I still have a few. So it was just my dumb luck that I picked the wrong set of criteria there. But I could also have gone over here and just typed in, as I did before, just ocean, and it still works. See? So that's pretty cool. I mean, again, the only problem with this feature is that it doesn't show you the list. It just tells you that given out of this list, Oceanic, Magnus over 20,000, that's how many we have, that's what they add up to, and so forth. So again, it's not complete for some of you, but for other situations, it might be just what you needed. And then if we want to just kind of clear out all of the criteria to get back to square one again, we can just select this, hit delete, and now we're back to square one again. Now, what if we wanted to sum up, and we'll just do it for the first one here. I want to sum up the sales for maybe 2 items within a field. So let's say I want to do, let's say, Lujack and, I don't know, Lujack and Peacock, let's say, right? So what we'd have to do is we'd go into here, we'd type in maybe Lujack for the first one, and then right below it we'll type in Peacock. Oh. Okay, get that in there, right? So now those 2 are in there. Now, you're going to see that this changed, but it's only picking up on Lujack because if I just go to that cell and double click it, you can kind of tell what the range is. Now what I'm going to do here, just very easily, very quickly, is I can actually just go ahead and, because I'm in this mode, I can just drag this down to include now that second row, see? So I do that, hit the enter key, now I've got a little bit bigger number. All right, so I just include those. So this is very much like that advanced filter was when we did that second row. All right. If I decide that I no longer want that one, then I can click on, let's say, Peacock, delete it. Then I can go back here again, just to make sure everything's all copacetic, and just kind of, just bring this one back up like that, see? And now enter it, and now we're back to what we had. If I go back and delete Lujack, then we're back to square one. All right, now, the thing with dates. All right, if we just go in to the order date here and I say, give me everything that's greater than or equal to 1/1/2019, that'll be all the sales beyond January 1st, 2019. Now, what if you wanted to do the first quarter of 2019? How would you do that? Well, the easiest way, and this is just like with the advanced filter, what we can do is we'll take this order date field here, I'll right click it, I'll hit copy, and I'll put that over here, right click it, and paste it in there, okay? Put wherever you want. You can do one more over if you wanted to. Now what I'll do is I'll say over here, less than or equal to, and I can say 3/31/2019, all right? There we go. Now nothing changes yet because I got to change my range a little bit. So if I go back and double click this, right? Then I can just expand that range out to there, see? Enter that in, there we go. So that's how much we have in sales for the first quarter of 2019. Now the rest of them didn't change obviously because we didn't update the formula, but what we could do here is double click this. It'll show me what the range is, all right? Now you can see that, get back there again. The reason why I can't really try to expand this is because I'm using that range name, all right? So the data range name, you know, where we've got our data here, that's not changed. It's just that we need to get this expanded out one column. Now we can do this, and I know this is going to seem like we're getting involved here, but what you can do is you can actually go over to the formulas tab here, all right? And we've got something here called the name manager, and that's basically our range name manager. And these are the 2 range names that we're using right now. Now, the data, we want to leave that alone, but the range name, we need to expand that by an extra column. So we'll go over to here, and you can see down below here, it says it refers to, in the subtotals field there, or tab I should say, for the sheet, out to column E, and we need that to go out to column, what? Out to column F. So we can very easily just go down to here and change that E, backspace it to an F. That's it. I'll make it a capital F. Doesn't matter. So I do that. I hit close, all right? And it says, you want to make changes to the name reference? We'll say yes, all right? And now you'll see everything all update, see? So by just changing that, the range name range, you know, that name incorporates or represents, it updated everything for me automatically. So we're all good. So if we go and double click that one, it'll show you the expansion there. If we double click this one, you'll see it. This one, you'll see it. And that one, you'll see it. So not bad. All right. So hopefully this will come in handy. It might be a nice alternative to doing the usual filter, or not filter, I should say, but just doing, you know, normal totaling here. This is kind of combining, you know, filtering and you know, subtotaling and so forth, but at the same time, it's just a different way. That's all. So put this in your toolbox, and if you ever need it, go for it. Well, I appreciate you watching the video. Take care.